What's going on, guys? Back at you again, and let's get right into this. So, they're doing this Super Bowl challenge thing or whatever. I don't even know what it is. If I win, I'm not even going to claim what it is. I just did it just so for whatever. So, it has the wild card round, it has all the times, and when everyone will be playing. So, the 13th, 14th, and then they move this game to Monday, I guess, to help those quarterbacks heal up a little bit because they knew they were hurt, right? And I quote. So, whatever. So, we got Cleveland versus Houston. Looking at Cleveland's roster, I mean, you take Joe Flacco out of there, there's still, like, it's just a defensively driven team. It's what it is. It's mostly a defensive team. They got great players on defense. On offense, you take away, like I said, Flacco, they are not going to score many points. You take away Amari Cooper, same thing. And Njoku, same thing. Like, they're very reliant on those 2, 3 players right there that I mentioned. So, I mean, Houston is a defensive team as well. So, and their offense is put together. They just need another draft and an offseason to get some more big name receivers. That's really all they need. Probably get a better running back, though, because Singletary's been around for a while. He's not anything special. You get a good running back and maybe 1 or 2 good receivers, and then you keep adding to the defense. Maybe get another lineman here and there. This team, you're looking at a team that's going to be good for a long time. But they've exceeded expectations, which is why I think it's enough for them to lose here. Because even if they do win this game, let's face it, Houston's not good enough to beat the Ravens, the Chiefs. I don't even know. Can they beat the Dolphins? Yeah, they could probably beat the Dolphins, but it would be a tough game in the playoffs. And it definitely would be. I don't know if they can even beat the Bills in a playoff game. So, like I'm saying, they just need one more year to catch on, I think. They've exceeded expectations. And the Browns, I don't even think they have what it takes to win the Super Bowl either. Even though Flacco did it at one time, that was 10 years ago. He was in his 20s when he did that. And he had Ray Lewis on his team and Ed Reed. And, you know what I'm saying? He had some Hall of Famers helping him. So it wasn't just Joe Flacco. So, let's see. If you're going to have me make a pick, I kind of want to go towards Houston. I kind of want to pick Houston because that would be a much more fun game to watch. Houston versus, because I'm thinking what would be more, like I always say to you guys, I was wrong about one game last week because the Jaguars decided to shit the bed and lay down. I said, though, that Tennessee could win that game. That was one of the second things I said after describing that game. So, I'm not surprised. I just thought that they would have Trevor Lawrence, an actual good quarterback. Well, somewhat good when he is told to play right, because he looked like shit for a while, a month straight. But he looked really good at the beginning of the year, and then all of a sudden it's like he ran into a wall. I know people are going to say he's playing hurt and all that, then don't play. I said the same thing with Baker Mayfield when he was playing hurt on the Browns. Hurt. So if you're hurt, don't play. You're getting paid millions. I know you want to help your team win, right? But if it's going to be at the expense of your legacy, don't play, man. And we've already seen Cleveland versus Baltimore twice this year, guys. Do we have to see that again? Do we really want to see that? I think we'd all rather see We'd all rather see C.J. Stroud versus Lamar Jackson. I think we can all agree that would be a much better watch and a funner game to see. Because Cleveland versus Baltimore, that would be so boring to watch. I'm telling you right now, I'm not watching that game. Because it'll just be two defensive teams butting heads at it. At least with Houston, they have some flash. Baltimore has flash too. They have Lamar Jackson. I'm saying in terms of that matchup. I'm going to pick Houston there just because it would be better to see this. All right. Next, let me move this over. Next, we have. Let's do 1-1 on each side. So now we got Philly versus Tampa Bay. I had a lot of trouble picking this game right there. Well, let me close this out for a second. Give me 1 second, guys. Got a few windows open. So, yeah, let's see Philly's roster real quick. So, Philly, you look at their roster, they can market a few guys there. I'm not really sold on their running game, and I think they did that on purpose to show up. They got some holes. Like, I'm really not understanding their running game at all. DeAndre Swift is more of a speed, like, elusive guy. Like, they have, who's going to be the power guy that needs to get those tough, hard yards? I thought that was going to be Rashad Penny, who hasn't seen the field unless they're saving him for the playoffs. If they bust him out for the playoffs and he's the power guy, then I'm going to tip my hat to Sirianni. Like, wow, so you kept him out of harm's way for the playoffs. I would tip my hat to him, that because that's coaching right there. If that's what he does, if you see Rashad Penny running the ball and he's doing well, that's what it is, because he's an injury-prone running back. So that would tell me that he signed him just for the playoffs, for the simple fact of playing 3-4 games, and that's it. You don't have to play regular season. Just play the playoffs. Help us win the Super Bowl. But if he doesn't play, then that's not what they did, and it was just a shit signing. That's what I'll say about that. But now they have 3 good receivers. I don't know why Julio can't play the slot. Like, Julio and AJ have to be on the outside, and Devontae should play the slot. But who knows what they do. On paper, like, they got playmakers, man, and Dallas Goedert too. So they have literally like playmakers everywhere. And then their O-line, we know it's one of the best in the league. Literally, like, at every position on the line, except right guard. I'm not sure who this guy is, and he's questionable. But point I'm saying, it's one of the better O-lines in the league. Defense, Brandon Graham's been there forever, and so is Fletcher Cox. Jordan's Davis. They got Josh Sweat, Cunningham, Shaq Leonard, who's finally seeing the field. They got him in the trade. He came right in time for the playoffs. They still got Hassan Riddick. Bradbury, he can't cover a soul at all. And then you got Kevin Byard, who you got from the Tennessee Titans. Darius Slay. I mean, like, they keep saying that their back end is terrible. They're not terrible. Maybe they just were playing terrible. They still have Avonte Maddox. Like, I don't know. I think they were just playing terribly to make people think that they suck. And then you look at Tampa's depth chart. I mean, it's not, you can say, yeah, it's the Super Bowl team that they had. No, it's not. First of all, Tom Brady isn't there, so that's the golden boy who's no longer there. So that's huge. He's not there, and he even lost with this team last year against the Cowboys. So obviously the team got weaker a year removed. Now they're missing Ndamukong Suh. They're missing Tom Brady, right? They're missing Leonard Fournette, who the Bills signed for the playoffs. And you guys are going to hear my prognostication on them later. But you guys have been hearing this for a while. I think the Bills are the sneak team. They're going to come in and steal the Super Bowl before everyone's eyes without everyone noticing. I think no one sees it coming. It might be the Bills, guys. It's either the Bills or the Ravens, I think. Because right now the Bills are powerful. And also another team that's catching flames are the Rams. They're catching flames. And the Packers. But a lot of people would say they don't trust Jordan Love, me being one of them. So, yeah, I don't know. This Tampa team, I mean, you got Mike Evans, Godwin. Like, they got some players. They only got the Wirfs. He's the only lineman from that Super Bowl team. And then, yeah, they don't even have their same running backs. So, like, literally, they have maybe from that Super Bowl team, 2, 3, 4, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't think Ryan Neal was there. So they have 10 people from that Super Bowl team that I can see. So, I mean, that's not a lot at all. considering that there's 53 guys on the roster. So it's literally 10% of that Super Bowl team, give or take, probably a little more. Let's see. So with that, I guess I'm gonna go Philly, just because they seem like they're gonna be a better team to market. Dare I say? I think I X'd out the wrong team. Yeah, I did. It's alright. Well, I'll pull it back up again. Get rid of Philly. Alright, so now, next game, Miami versus Kansas City. Kansas City, their receivers, we know they stink. Kadarius Toney, who knows, he might end up finding his hands. Travis Kelce might stop looking old. And Patrick might start letting it up again. Who knows? I just don't know. I don't know what we're going to get, guys, with this team. Rashee Rice, like, they got players, but I just don't know. They're just dropping shit, man. So it's just hard to just say. Their O-line, you could tell Mahomes don't trust them. Their defense, they're okay. Chris Jones leading the way. Their D-line is good. Linebackers, same as last year. DBs, same as last year. Like, this is the same defense. So, I mean, their defense is intact. Their offense, yeah, they're minus, like, Juju Smith-Schuster. You know, maybe a couple guys here and there. This is the same team, guys. So, I don't know if it's fatigue. Guys are just old. They should be able to beat Miami, right? I think that was the one box that I X'd out, that other team, the Miami. It's all right. Yeah, let's get Miami's depth chart real quick because I do want to see them. Dolphins depth chart. Let's check that real quick. Miami Dolphins depth chart. Alright, so I don't believe in this team anyhow. But I gotta be fair. I'm showing everyone else's. We gotta show theirs too. Mostert, he's pretty good. Tua, I don't know if we can trust him out. Tyreek, Jalen. And then after that, after these three, like, who else do they have? You take away Mostert, Hill, and Waddle, they got nothing else, guys. They really have nothing else. They were literally relying on three guys. But I guess the same can be said about the Chiefs, right? But they're won a championship already. Miami hasn't won shit, and they keep losing to good teams. Maybe they're setting us up for that to make them win against them in the playoffs. Because we've been saying that all the regular season. Oh, they can't beat a good team. We can't trust them in the playoffs. Now the playoffs are here. They might win. You just never know. But I'm not impressed at all. Other than Tyreek and Jalen. Like, Mostert's good, but most teams probably would pass on him because he's older, but he's still good. Defensively, Wilkins is a beast. Ogba is a beast. Damn, Melvin Ingram's still playing. Oh, yeah, and they lost that other dude that they traded for, Bradley Chubb. They, like, traded, like, I forget what exactly. Well, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but they traded a decent piece for him. So that's kind of shitty for them. And then they got Xavier Howard, who is doubtful in a playoff game. So that hurts. So you're going to be down a number one corner for Eli Apple. Eli Apple dices or gets diced up by Patrick Mahomes all the time. I know he got that one lucky pick when he was on the Bengals, but he gets diced up. And Jalen Ramsey gets diced up all the time. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Chiefs, guys. Let me X that out, and we'll X out one. Yeah, we're going to go with the Chiefs. I just don't trust Miami. I like Mike McDaniel. I like what he's building. I like their tempo. I like offensively what they're doing, but they still have a long way to go, if we're being honest. Miami has a long way to go. All right, now let's do LA versus Detroit. So Los Angeles, let's see their depth chart. Puka and Nakua coming out of nowhere. They got Cooper, Cup. They still got Tyler Higbee, D-Rob at the slot. Not familiar with their O-line. I know Havenstein, Dodson, and Brian Allen. I know the right side of the O-line. Not too familiar with the left side. Defensively, I'm familiar with Aaron Donald. I think we all are. I think this guy right here, Byron's their rookie. Ernest has been there. Hoyt has been there. Witherspoon, that name rings a bell. Durant, that rings a bell. Jordan Fuller, that rings a bell. John Johnson rings a bell, but usually in the starting position. But okay. Maybe that means they have depth. I don't know. But I do know offense drives the league, and they definitely have the offense. So these two receivers alone should be enough for at least 14 points. You should get a touchdown from both of them in a playoff game. Now, Detroit's roster. Oh, I didn't know Teddy Bridgewater was the backup. That's pretty cool. And they drafted Hendon Hooker, so that's kind of weird. Why would you draft him in, the second round? Just to have him be a third string quarterback. That means you could have used that second round pick on another player to help you be better. I don't know. I don't understand that at all. So now they got Montgomery. Yeah, Montgomery, Gibbs. I thought Gibbs was their starter. Amon-Ra, Josh Reynolds. Yeah, other than Amon-Ra, Khalif Raymond is a speed demon. Other than Amon-Ra, I know Sam Laporta is really good. He's had a great year. But other than Amon-Ra and St. Brown, who are they going to rely on, really? I know Jahmyr Gibbs has his moments. Sam Laporta has his moments. But, dare I say, is this Lions team all smoke and mirrors and tempo and bells and whistles and guys running all over the place? You don't know who's going where, and all of a sudden this guy has the ball? Is that what the Lions are? Because I'm looking at this team and I'm trying to figure how they are 12-5. Is it all scheme? But let's be honest, though. There were some games they threw away. They easily could have had more wins, but they could have more losses, too, if you look at it the other way as well. So, I don't know, man. I don't think they have enough to make a Super Bowl run looking at their players. Who are you going to market? Detroit's a big market, but who the hell wants to be in Detroit, though? I know I don't. But they're a big market, but they have no big names other than St. Brown. And he's still making a name for himself. Defensively, Aiden is their guy, still making a name. Jack Campbell. Let's see. C.J. Gardner's decent. Kirby Joseph's decent. I just don't know. I think this is, like I said, it's that Miami Dolphins feel. It's a really good regular season game or team. I just don't trust this team in the playoffs. Why do you think their coach is always going for it on fourth down? Because he doesn't trust the defense. He doesn't trust this team like that. He talks the talk, but when it's time to walk the walk, he keeps going for it on fourth when he should be kicking. So, if he doesn't trust the team, why should I? That's really what I'm asking myself. And that roster, the more I look at it, the more unimpressed I am. I think that Sean McVay can scheme something to beat this team. So I'm going to pick LA to win because of that. I think LA can scheme something to win. I know a lot of people are picking Detroit, but I'm not a lot of people. I'm very different from most people. So I pick, excuse me, I pick LA. Then we got Green Bay versus Dallas. We'll look at Dallas. So basically the same team they trot out every year. I don't know. I just don't trust Dak in big time situations. We see it all the time. We've been seeing it for like 6, 7 years. It's the same story. They come up short. They're just not good enough. They're just always missing something. And that something is the quarterback. Like, Dak just isn't good enough to win a Super Bowl. I just think you need a top tier guy in this new NFL. It's not like how it used to be where you could be the 2000 Ravens and have Trent Dilfer and the number one defense. You can have the number one defense and miss the playoffs in this new NFL. It's not about defense anymore. It's about offense and the guy throwing the football and the guys catching him, and sometimes the guy running the ball. But it's really a passing league. Something that Dak isn't the best at. He's a well-rounded guy. He used to run, doesn't run as much as he used to, and now he's not as accurate as any of these top 5 guys. He doesn't have as strong an arm. So what is Dak Prescott? You gotta ask yourself. He's got guys around him. Yeah, he's got Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, Cooks, Gallup. But is Tony Pollard going to be able to run the ball consistently in the playoffs? Because playoff football, you need to be able to run the ball. You can't just pass the whole time, and the defense knows you're passing the whole time. That's going to bite you in the ass. They're going to pin their ears back and come after you while in coverage. It's just not the game that you want to play. That's why I don't trust Dallas, mainly because they don't have a bell cow, a guy that can bruise. He's a one-play hitter guy. Like, yeah, he can get that one-play touchdown, but he's not going to grind a defense and make them tired and be sick of hitting him play after play. He's not that type of runner where you're like, oh, shit, I got to tackle him again. That's the type of running back you want. Like, they should have went after Derrick Henry. If Dallas was aggressive and they freaking went after Derrick Henry, and let's say they traded, I don't know, let's say they gave him Tony Pollard. Oh, no, you keep Tony Pollard. You want to keep him. But actually, you could have used Rico Dwindle because he's elusive, and Deuce got hurt, so that does hurt. I don't know. Maybe you trade away Michael Gallup because you got to give something away. You'd probably have to give away a draft pick and maybe Gallup or something for Derrick Henry. I think that's fair. And now you have Derrick Henry. If you have a guy like that, now you control the clock and you can pass the ball. I would pick Dallas as my champions if they did that, but they sat back almost like they knew they weren't going to win. Why spend more if you know you're not going to win? If you know you have a chance, you would spend and keep trying to do more. So that's what tells me they're not scripted to win. And even if they are, they're not going to go to the Super Bowl. Like, you'll notice the year that they're going to go to the Super Bowl is the year that Jerry goes crazy and signs all these players, big names, guys that are just, like, so good. Like, if he goes above and beyond for a player, then you know it's finally the year they're going to give it to him. But he's sitting on his hands because he's not going to win. Why go crazy if you're not going to win? Why spend money if you're not going to win? You got to wait your turn. Their defense, decent, You got Parsons, right? Lawrence. You're missing Diggs, right? Bland is a 5th-round guy, made some plays. Some quarterbacks throwing the balls right at him type stuff. Gilmore lost a step, but still a decent player. But you look at Green Bay, young guns, right? Jordan Love, Aaron Jones, and Dillon. That's probably the best 1-2 punch in the league. And right here, these running backs are the type of running backs that are perfect for the playoffs, especially if you're playing in Green Bay. Are they playing in Green Bay? Let me check. They're not. No, because Detroit won the division. That sucks. If Green Bay had first place and had the division lead, wow, Cowboys traveling to Green Bay, that would suck for them. Oh my God, playing that cold. But anyway, they're not. But they're playing in a dome. That helps Green Bay too because they're athletic. And those Cowboys are not going to want to keep tackling A.J. Dillon all game and Aaron Jones all game, that 1-2 punch. That's a lot to ask. And they still got Watson, who's a speed guy. Romeo Doubs is good. Jaden Reed is come to form. Young guys. Musgrave is a good tight end. Young guy. And then their O-line. Looks like they're missing a tackle there. Bakhtiari looks like he's out. I don't know. Yeah, Bakhtiari's out. That sucks. Wow, that's big time. Bakhtiari is probably one of the top 3 best left tackles in the league. So that's a big time situation. Him not being there is big time, guys. Jordan Love's going to be on his back a lot because of this. Mark my words. So they're going to have Parsons come after him big time. They're actually missing out on 2 tackles, guys. Both their tackles are out. So, yeah, this is going to be a game where Jordan Love's going to be under a lot of pressure. I just noticed. Wow. I didn't know that. Wow. Holy shit. But their defense, they got Kenny Clark, Preston Smith, Campbell's still there. Rashawn Gary's a good pass rusher. Alexander's good. Savage is a savage. Defense is I'd say Dallas's defense is better. Rashawn Gary's a good pass rusher, but I'd say Parsons is probably better. I'd say Kenny Clark is probably a better D lineman than DeMarcus Lawrence. Or if not, they're probably around the same. But Jair Alexander at corner, I'd say he's better than Gilmore at this point in his career. And after that, Dallas is better on defense. They just have more players. If you ask Mike McCarthy, which team would you rather take over, Green Bay or Dallas, I think he'd have to sleep on it. Because these rosters are pretty close. They're not as far apart as we think. The only reason we think they're far apart is because Jordan Love's a rookie. Well, he's not a rookie, but this is his first season really starting. This is literally his rookie season playing like a real football game because he never played with Aaron Rodgers being there. So they don't trust him. But if you had an established guy there, you're not too confident right now. You're just not if you're the Cowboys. So I think this is going to be a really good game. Let's see. Who would I pick, though? I think... Well, first of all, why didn't it pick L.A.? Yeah, we want L.A. We picked Philly. Why did it erase my picks? It's like I didn't make my picks, but I did. So I'm going to pick Dallas because they're probably going to make the most money out of the deal for the NFL. So, yeah, we'll go that way with it. And now, last but not least for the wild card, we got Pittsburgh. Oh, I don't know why I got the Ravens there. Pittsburgh versus the Bills. Pittsburgh, they're trotting out Mason Rudolph. Pickett is available, and they're still going with Rudolph. So that should tell you something, guys. That should tell you something. Now they got Harris. He's the type of running back you don't want to tackle all game. So that's actually good for them. They got really good receivers. That's something they're always good at, receiver. They got 3 really good ones. I'll give them that for sure. Pat Freiermuth is good. And they got the rookie behind them. So, yeah, offensively, they should be okay. They just don't have a reliable quarterback, man. Ever since Big Ben left, it's just been in flux. O-line, don't really notice any of these guys. Alright, so now, defensively, Hayward's still there. TJ Watt is a monster, and it looks like he's out, guys. Wow. If TJ Watt's out, the Steelers lose, guys. There's a stat that Once TJ Watt is out, they lose. They win. Well, I'm saying it wrong. When TJ Watt is there, they win 90% of their games. So when he's not there, they win 10% of the time. So if he's not playing, guys, that tells you what's going to happen. And I'm sure he doesn't want to be on national TV getting his ass kicked if he can avoid it. So there's that. Yeah, so I guess that answers everything for us for that game. Because TJ Watt's not playing. So, I mean, we don't have to look at anything else, I feel like. But we'll take a look. So on defense, the Bills, if they had not Leonard Floyd, Von Miller, man, this defense would be even better than it is right now. Because right now they're all coming to form. And Matt Milano's out too. That hurts them. Matt Milano is one of the best cover linebackers in the league. So that definitely helps the it helps for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But Terrell Bernard's a good athlete. Ed Oliver, they'll be all right. They'll be all right on defense. They got Josh, James Cook, Leonard Fournette. That was a big-time signing. And Latavius Murray, he's also 6'3", 230, 40-pound running back. So they got good, big running backs. James Cook has been coming to form late in the year. I think this team is really built for this time of season. They took a while to get going. Coaches getting fired, this and that happening, but now they're on the right track. They got Steph, they got Gabe, and I mean that's really all they need. They got Kincaid and Dawson Knox, so they got the double tight end thing going, and their O-line has been together for a while. So, and McGovern's actually good, and he's a backup. So I mean, in my opinion, I think this team is primed to win it all. Like, call me an idiot, call me crazy. I know before the season started, I said that I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. But things change. You get information, your mind should change. Like, you shouldn't always think the same way if things change, guys. So, you should always be open-minded to things. I am. So, I picked Buffalo for that. I kind of want to go week to week. I don't want to go too crazy. Because once one of these teams lose, we're going to have to fix it, you know what I mean? And rearrange it. So I'm going to leave it like this and do it week to week. But I don't think I can. I think it's going to make me pick them all. Shit. All right. If it does, then I'll just make another one next week or something. Or maybe we'll just, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I wasn't prepared to pick them all like this, guys. Bear with me. All right, Houston, Baltimore. Damn, I wasn't prepared to do it like this, guys. I really am not. I don't want to take another hour. Because it takes me a while to think about who's going to win. I'm just not, like, a thoughtless person. I'm really thoughtful when it comes to this shit. I can't just, like, pick anyone. But I'm going to do it in purposes of just getting through this video. But just know that these aren't my final picks. Only the wild card round was my final picks. I'm doing these rounds just to get it over with. So, whatever. Baltimore, KC versus Buffalo, I think finally, after like 5 years, Buffalo finally beats KC on a down year because KC has no receivers. But it's going to be a shootout, and Buffalo beats them in like double overtime. I think that's how that'll go. And then it'll be Buffalo versus Baltimore. Everyone's going to pick Baltimore. And this is a good game, though. These two teams play each other in the regular season, and it usually goes either way. I remember last year, Baltimore started off winning, and then they lost. And then this year, I think Baltimore beat them. So I'm going to pick Buffalo because they're my Super Bowl pick. So I think it's either Buffalo or Baltimore, in my opinion, is going to be the winner this year. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I think it's one of those two. LA versus San Fran, Philly, Dallas. I don't know, man. Like, this starts getting tricky. The playoffs are tricky, guys. It literally can go anyway. Because Sean McVay can definitely scheme and win this game. and San Fran can beat this team. Like either way can go. Either team can win. But I guess just to get the video over with, I'll just pick San Fran. Dallas versus Philly. Are they gonna make us like either way we slice it? It's gonna be a matchup we saw already. So you know what? I'm just gonna be different here. I'm gonna pick LA because I also said LA is possibly a Super Bowl team, but I don't think they have enough on defense and offensively. I don't think they don't have a slot guy that they can depend on. I think that's important. Which is why Baltimore is so vaunted. They have a slot guy, outside guys. They have a backup tight end who's playing so well in the absence of their all-pro tight end being out for the year. And that's why I think they made that tight end get hurt to justify the Ravens losing. Oh, they didn't have their star tight end. He was playing a man down, you know. But they can go the other way with it and say, oh, he's so amazing. He won without his star tight end. Like, ay. It really twists your brain when you start thinking of all the scenarios. All right, so are we Philly or Dallas? It can go either way with these two teams. They play each other so much, so often. I'm just thinking about what would be better to watch. I think more people would tune in for Dallas because it's Dallas. And there's so many delusional Dallas fans out there. And we already saw the Philly last year. Yeah, I'm going to pick Dallas. And then Sirianni's going to be in trouble after Dallas just trounces. Even though Philly could come alive because they got Julio Jones now. That's why they picked him up for the playoffs. And I'm going to pick Philly. I'm going to pick Philly to get it done. I'm going to pick Philly because they've been getting dragged and embarrassed for a while now. All right, now I guess just remember these aren't my final picks except for Buffalo. I'm probably going to go with them, but this NFC side, I need more time with them because they're not as skilled and there's a lot going on. Between these two, it can go either way. But I guess I'll go Philly. Yeah, I'm going to go Philly. Even though that's a stretch. Saying Philly going to the Super Bowl is definitely a stretch. And then I'm going to pick Buffalo to win it all. Josh Allen and them boys to get it done. Other than that, boys, thanks for watching. And join me next week to give you the correct picks.